Welcome to
Hello.
CowRC Cow Tech episode 15. Wow, we got a crazy one for everybody tonight, Tyler. What do you think?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Good to see you again, Adam.
Oh, yeah. So we are coming off of a pretty epic weekend. I know they had Pro Line by the Fire, which is a
Right?
huge event, and I'm sure we'll have somebody on board to talk about that as
Right?
well. But we got a few things that we got to get out there right away. Of course, thanks to Heath, we got a couple giveaways for the show tonight, and we got a new way of doing it. So we're gonna experiment with a couple hashtags, and we're gonna have some fun with it.
Yeah, you guys can learn along with us. So we thought it was appropriate to do it a different way. We've given out a lot of cool stuff, and sometimes we've made a couple mistakes and repeats, and we want to try to make it fair for everybody, so everybody's got a fair chance. So we won't leave it up to us. We'll leave it up to the computers.
Leave it up to Lady Luck. Oh man, that's a great question already. Man,
Oh,
I know everybody's jonesing for this bad boy.
yes. Yeah. Well, that's a you want to I can mention that since that was brought up here real quick. So actually the tire wash has landed. I think Heath put a couple posts on the Facebook page on the fans page of the tire wash, and it'll be here in about a week or so in the store. I know mine's in shipment. I should get it this week as well. So it'll be a nice addition to an already awesome lineup of products.
I'm hoping Monday, Tuesday. We got that big BMR race coming up on the weekend, and it's going to be an epic event. And having this to show off is going to be next level. I know a lot of people are jonesing for it to stop by the Ross Racing pits and
Oh yeah.
check it out. But man,
Free
I'm
samples.
liking it.
You need to get little
Oh,
like little cups and distribute it to everybody like shot
yeah,
glasses.
it's going to be like definitely in high use for sure, especially at our track. Oh, the new tire wash is about to drop, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
One
we got
week.
a few things that we want to get off of the docket for tonight before we can get into the real show. Because as
Yeah.
you guys know, we had Mike Panackia on episode 7. I tried to share the link.
Mhm.
It was an epic fail, but it's show number 7. So if you missed part 1, it's on show number 7. But before we get into show number 2 for how to be a part of the factory team, there's a few things that I think Tyler wants to review.
That's right. Yeah, we got a couple things. We just talked about the tire wash. That was one new thing. And the other new thing, not really so new, but it's going to be new to you folks who have done pre-orders. You should already have your copy of the Carbon Series small version mat. So this is what I have in my hand. It's in the store now. So if you missed a pre-order, go in and get it. It's still available and is ready to ship now. But everybody did pre-orders should have this by now, and I'm hoping you're enjoying it. And I would love to see some awesome content on the fans page of you guys using this. This is a great little mat, with the magnetic sheet comes off of this, and it's perfect for perfect portability. It's sturdy. It's perfect for doing what I'm going to do next, which is parlay this into our new shock stand tool. So we talked about this on the last episode, and this was the prototype here. So same size, right? So this fits 1/10 scale shocks, and I did some kind of playing around with it. It will work with crawler shocks, but the collars of the crawler shocks aren't quite wide enough. So you end up sitting at the bottom of the eyelet just ends up standing there, which is fine. Just a little bit smaller version. So just to be aware of that, but it still works just as good. So the difference that we had here is, as you can see, the old prototype, the top was removable, wasn't exactly reliable as far as staying up together. And so what CowRC did is we put it on a hinge, which I can get it open. There we go. So we have it now on a hinge. So now it won't get lost. And so this hinge and the screen goes into a reservoir, which I'll show you here what that does. So when you've got your shock stand tool here, you take out, you're emptying your old fluids, and what I always got annoyed with is having to go to the trash can or something every time you do each shock change. And all you're going to do here is you pour it in your shock stand tool. You can let it sit here, leave it here, let it sit while you're getting the next one ready. And then you put it in the shock stand, and you can add your new weight of silicone fluid into it, and you're ready to go. So really nice, really easy. I find it to be extremely useful. And the cool part is, in this kind of the other new version of this shock stand tool. So the old prototype didn't have any type of way to get the fluids out of it. You kind of had to dump it upside down, and of course you would get some of it out, but it wouldn't all come out. And so what CowRC did is redesigned it to have a plug in the bottom here. So plug, and then it's already coming out. So that's what you didn't want to have happen. So what you could do is now you can dump all your fluids out from the bottom of the tool shock stand, rather than dumping it up on the top and getting mess and all that type of stuff and having it upside down. So the cool thing is very easily to use, really portable, very durable. I mean, it's a 3D printed part, so it feels, just basically the shape of it itself is going to rely into durability. But as you can see, makes a nice collection of messes that you can use, clean up later. But obviously, the right thing to do would be to put it in your, over the trash can or a bucket or whatever. But for this purpose, I used our CowRC Carbon Series mat, and which is awesome for stuff like this and making a mess out of it without getting it ruined. So yeah, and Adam, I don't know if you mind sending this. And this is Wildside RC Works was the printer of this tool. So thank you to them for that. And Adam, I don't know if you mind showing the fans how you get to this shock stand tool so we can order it. It's in a different category, so keep an eye out for that. It's actually in the miscellaneous category.
So this right here is the website. So now he's got a new one right at the bottom where you can go into miscellaneous, and this is where you're going to find it now.
Yep.
So right now I only see the 10 scale one. You can obviously click on it for a quick view, kind of see what we're getting into. And for $20 is not a bad deal to have a custom shock stand that is pretty usable, especially for racing. And I know that me and the kids have put this one through the paces. I need the drain on the bottom of mine because me trying to pour out the oils, it took a few tries, but we got it done. Definitely a lot of fun.
Well, it's nice because you can let it sit and just kind of drain out. Like if you're done with it, like as you can see, it'll take a little while. I mean, as you guys know, you get like 70 weight, whatever. Some of the thicker oil is going to take a little time to drip out. So it's nice to be able to just let this sit. And as you can see, it's kind of it's still draining out, and it's got a tapered inner, so it's funneling down to that slot and that hole down the bottom. So it's being very efficient. And then of course, you want to take it home with you. And you don't want oils to still get in your bag or what have you. Use the cleaner and degreaser. Bring that with you. Shoot inside the shock stand. Get all the rest of that out. Use that drain plug. Unplug it. Do it in above the trash can, and it'll be clean for you for the next time.
Heck yeah. And it's a good thing you're using that Carbon Series mat and not the nice white one underneath it.
That's right. Well, that's the awesome thing about this. This is the only Carbon Series mat, the small one that I've owned, and as you guys see every week, I beat it up and I pour stuff on it, and all I do is just wipe it up again. It is very dependable. It's very durable.
Nice. So as you guys know, we also have a special guest along with us. Not only do we have Mike, but we actually have Shawn Rusin Schumer. I have been following this guy pretty much since I got into RC. Some of the things that this guy's gotten into, were just epic. Now he's into racing these crazy boats. Like I know he's running the crazy Tekin servos and all that stuff. Like this guy doesn't joke around. And like the sheer size of these boats and the speeds that he's running, obviously he knows what he's doing when it comes to having fun on the water. He's been into crawling. We were just talking about short course. I think he's been in it since the inception of RC. It might not even have been by wire or something like that. He's been in it for I think like a few months anyways, but he has some great stories. He's one of the reasons why I started my podcast. I know him and Tyler were doing the podcast for a bit, and man, it was awesome to see. And I can't wait to bring him on board and share some of his stories for sure. And of course, we got Mike to talk about part 2 of how to be on the team. And like I said, if you missed it, the first part is episode 7. I did try and share the link. Unfortunately, it wasn't clickable. So we'll share that again for you guys for sure. But it is episode 7. Super easy. And remember, for today, we are still going to take one comment that we chose, and we're going to try hashtag Cow Tech. So if you want to win some, just type in hashtag Cow Tech, and you will be entered to win via random draw. We're going to try it brand spanking new today.
Yeah,
But
and so our two prizes that we have today is one is your 10 scale shock stand. So that is going to be one of the prizes, and the second prize is going to be the soon to be released in a week tire cleaner solution. So 2 brand new products. You know, this product, the shock stand, just got out of the website today. So it is brand new, fresh, and the tire cleaner hasn't even been put on the site yet. It exists. It's in the United States. It just needs to be processed and put in there. So you're going to be one of the first people on your block to have one.
heck yeah. No, it'll be pretty sick. So I'm hoping Keenan gets lucky, man. I've always gotten lucky on his streams and have won some pretty amazing prizes from the No Name RC podcast. If you don't know Keenan, you got to check it out, man. He's got the best podcast probably. And man, if you're into racing, the whole European versus America stuff is on fire right now, especially with David Angaro taking 4-wheel drive 10 scale from the Americans on their home track, and then for Tater Sontag to come back in 2-wheel drive and throw down for TLR like that. So you got TLR, you got AE battling. Oh my God, it was awesome. Andy, you got to do hashtag at Cow Tech, buddy. Oh man, it was an awesome time. Definitely some good stuff. But do you want to bring on our guests or what?
Let's do it. That's why we're here.
All right. So we are going to bring 2 newbies on to the show. Yeah, right. Newbies. Come on. These guys are old school. We are going to bring it on as quickly as I can. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to do this 4-player.
Oh,
look
yeah.
at that.
That's pretty.
All right.
Welcome to Cow Tech.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, fella.
There.
I'm doing great.
Good to see you
Good
guys.
to be on the
Thanks
show. I've
for
been
joining
looking
us.
forward to this for quite a while. I think I've talked about it on the podcast, but yeah, man, looking forward to being here with you guys.
Awesome. Great to
Heck yeah.
have you, Shawn and Mike.
Great to be back.
So what's going on?
yeah.
What's on the agenda? How about that little tool you guys got there? I like that. I like that drain plug and how you dumped it all over your table.
That's right. Make messes. That's why we're here.
He just likes showing off
like
the
being a
carpet
kid
mat,
again.
That's all.
Yeah, well, that mat's pretty slick. It's a nice mat. I got one of the bigger ones, and I actually use it for my soldering station, and it's been holding up just fine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't let the solder sit there that long, but I haven't had any issues with it. You know. Yeah. So I had a little fun this weekend.
Were you by the fire?
I went to Pro Line by the fire. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Actually work it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. We do the U4 thing, as you know, some of you all know. And so Friday was U4 hot lap, which is basically, what is that? That's We go around the mountain and back down. It's just one lap, and you do it as fast as you can. 31.87 seconds, I want to say, is the fastest. So you're running after this car. So it's not a 5K, but you do need to sprint. So you're huffing and puffing by the time you come across that finish line. But yeah, that was a good time. We had probably like 60 people try out for their times on that one, and it was pretty good. And then the next day, Saturday, was all about the big jump. You know, just full send into the sand pit, man. You know, like that's my favorite part. I mean, we all us RC guys, especially bachelors, we love jumping and popping wheelies and doing donuts, right? So
yeah.
why would you not want to send it off of a 4-foot ramp that Proline made? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's the Creighton and there's a guy out there with an infraction or something like that, like one of the Limitless. There you go. Sorry. Limitless with monster truck tires on it. Woo, we was sending it to the moon, guys, to the moon. So much fun. I don't get a chance to get out to the trails that much. Like, really can't tell you any stories about the trails. I do know they were pretty rad, though, because everybody was super pumped about it. The poker run that Element runs, you know, John does. Everybody was, I did sit at Element booth and watch people come in with their cards and everything, and they were all having a good time. It's crazy because at night, the whole entire mountain just lights up with little tiny lights.
Wow.
Look like ant trails, right? Of lights all in the mountain. And it's just people crawling all night long.
So cool.
Till midnight. Of course, I went to bed at 8, so I really. It was a good time.
I heard
you were working hard.
It's like one of those must-attend events, though.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's been going on for 7 years. I've done 6 of them, and I've worked 5 of them. And it's a must-do at least once. It's like an Axial Fest. I've heard people like it more than Axial Fest. I know that Axial Fest, I've never been to one, but I know in the beginning years there was thousands of people out there. So the attendance this year wasn't in the thousands, but the amount of things to do there, you have proving grounds, you have crawling courses that are put together by all the sponsors and the brands that show up, like the Reeves RC, et cetera. You know, all those guys put in a lot of hard work into those trails for several days before everybody shows up. So it's one to attend if you haven't done it, for sure.
Yeah. Nice. Now, Mike, you're more into racing, right?
Yeah, I'm more into racing. I mean, I do have some basher stuff. Actually, I just bought 4 different cars that are still in the box that are all kind of basher cars. Because when they go on sale, I don't even really want them, but I start looking around and then I have to have them, but they're still in the box. They're still waiting to get used. And then I got a clear body, and then I sent it out to my painter guy. So I can't just go a little bit. I got to go all the way.
Yeah, your painter's fantastic. He does awesome work.
He really is. He really did a good job. I was actually cutting up this body today to get it mounted up.
Especially with the way that you tied in the CowRC theme and all that stuff too. Like, did you suggest that, or did he's like, well, I know who you work for? And
no, so my colors for the longest time were white and then the black and the gray. So eventually, I don't remember exactly when I did it, but I went, you know what? I want the cow theme tied in somehow. So the first one that I had was the cow theme in the front, and then just the regular his paint job in the back, and I switched it up. So now it's party in the front and cow in the back.
Heck yeah, man. Steve's wondering who's your painter though?
Dell, DIP on Facebook.
Yeah, definitely seen
Dell Callahan. He's probably done, and I'm not even joking, over 50 some bodies for me.
Wow.
Damn. Ain't messing around.
Yeah, and everything from 16 scale all the way up to 5th scale he's done for me.
Jeez. That's
so
great.
I know Dino's asking about, was there any CowRC booths there at by the fire?
No. We would have to get Heath in touch with Proline to be, to do that. No, the sponsors were Shift, Reeves, Full Wheel Drive RC, Red Cat. There's another servo company there that I'd never seen before. Of course, Horizon Hobbies and Proline was there. The Element was there. Let's see here. There's some more, but that's what I'm starting to draw. Like those are the ones that stand out for me.
Well, Red Cat had that big reveal too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Dude, I was eyeballing their. Have you seen their flatbed truck with the big trailer to pull cars around?
Yeah.
That thing is, dude. I was eyeballing that. I was like, no, that's cool. That is really cool. They had one that was all done up with the whole rustic body on it. Because I mean, it's a really cool body too, you know. But they did one that was all rusted, you know, because when they come out of the box, they look all shiny and brand new. And I was like, I like the one that looks like it's like 50 years old. That one's really cool. Yeah. That thing was really rad. Element released a new truck, some little Toyota body on it with like a tubular back end with a spare tire. You'll see that coming out. It's red. That was really hot. That was a cool car as well. So yeah, always new product being released at Pro-Land by the Fire. That's another reason why to go, because you're going to see some new stuff. Knights Customs, that guy, was good to see him. I you know, many years ago, me and him ran, what was it? I want to say it was a AMA Expo that we did, and it was like a monster truck, Pro-Line Monster Truck Fest or something like that. And anyway, had a really good time with him. And of course, he's got all kinds of new stuff coming out.
James is so creative.
Yeah. So he already has a whole 3D lineup for that new Element car that came out with the Toyota body.
Yeah.
So, you know, it
was
was sick. That thing was really cool. The other thing I saw on the table is I got to see that new Pro Boat.
Oh, I saw you holding that.
Yeah, that thing was bigger than I thought. Why? Yeah. That thing is so wide. It's like,
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's a full-on, it's going to be great for that boat basher guy that wants to just like make jumps and maybe like skip it across the shore, or, you know, jump some branch that's sticking out of the water or something like that. Or if you live by a river or something, I mean, that's what it's all about. Open water, I feel like you might be like, you know. Yeah. There's a lot of other faster stuff out there, because I don't know jets. I mean, I run 1-to-1 jet boats, right? Like I was raised in jet boats. It takes a lot of torque and horsepower and RPM to move a jet, right?
Oh wow!
So in order to get that little boat to really move, you could probably put another bigger motor in it to spin more RPM, because that's the only thing you're going to be able to do, you know, unless you engineer your own impeller, you know. In the big world, you have an A impeller, a B impeller, and an AB impeller, and the difference is how much they're pitched. And are you pulling a water skier, or are you drag racing? That's really the question. So anyway, to go with on the RC thing, there'll be a couple little things that I would like to see happen to that little boat to make it go a little faster. But man, it looks cool. It's got LED lights on the front, LED lights on the back. Wow. It's the graphics on it are really cool. The layout on the inside, it's got a lot of room to be able to work on it. Like it's got a good system in it too. That's the more latest and greatest type of systems that you're seeing in like the Impulse and things like that. I forget what they're calling it. I actually have one. It's this model, this stuff here. So the Spectrum Firma.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's a much better system than the Dynamite stuff that was kind of in the Pro Boat stuff back in the day. So the system's a lot nicer, and the motor's fat. Like it's, you know, 8-scale round, it looked like in there. So yeah, it should be cool, man. You know.
Absolutely. So hey, Mike, can you show off your body? Do you have a body handy or no?
Yeah, I got a few of them. Let me show you. Hold on.
And then we definitely.
I guess Mike likes X-ray, huh?
Yeah. He's
a little bit. So this is.
Ooh, that's cool.
That is sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's sweet. Oh yeah, I like that.
And pretty much all my wheeler looks the same. My 2-wheel looks the same, and and I actually had a mini that he did as well, looked the same. Sweet. But this is the new one with this is the brand new one that Dell did with the CowRC colors. Stand by.
Hey,
Yeah,
did
I
you
saw
see
when he posted
Dino?
that one. That's really cool.
That's not a bad idea, Dino.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
A
hey,
carrier
hey,
bag
hey,
would be
one.
sick.
Oh, I
A
love the
carrier bag for
flag.
cleaners would be awesome. And it say cow on
that's
the
pretty
front of it,
cool.
all embroidered. Kind of like the Protect stuff.
Oh yeah.
That would be sick. Yeah, that one's
That
cool
looks
too.
like the Mean Streak.
See. I've always
Yeah.
been when you start
That's really
talking
cool,
Cow
Mike.
RC theme. I'm old school. I like the neon green or the lime green with the checkered flag. That's the look I like. I like that one a
That's
lot.
nice.
I like that one a lot. That's cool.
Yeah, so we already have 17 entries in the hashtag Cow Tech. So
Oh
keep
my.
that
Nice.
coming.
Who's it gonna be? Who do you guys think who's gonna win it? Do you think?
Yeah, whoever's
Whoever the machine,
lucky.
whatever machine.
I saw
Yeah.
some new names. There's a lot of new faces that have joined us, so that's really cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
absolutely.
Well, I think they're here for Mike and Shawn, really, because
Yes.
they want to know how to get on the team. Now, we already covered the basics and how to get on there. And don't forget, the Facebook fan page is probably your best resource for trying to figure out how to get on. So we don't want to reiterate what we said in show number 7. I will share the link. I'm sorry I can't do it live, but we kind of want to get into it. So obviously we got the team management and staff and their specific duties, which obviously Shawn Rusin is the MVP. So he's the team member awards and random contests or contents. So, and then we got me for team driver announcements. You got Aaron Mosier, the secretary and driver info filing, which is probably extremely hard because we got a great team. You got Peter Lundberg, 2 out of 4 quarterly. So basically the first of every month, he does the updates and the best content. So we have ways that you can win nonstop on the team page.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take anybody's thunder away. Maybe Mike can kind of get into it because not only is it a requirement to be on the team. So say you post one time per month, you're guaranteed 35% off. Now, obviously it levels up from there. And Mike, you want to kind of get into that, like what the different levels are and what you can actually achieve by posting additional content?
Sure. So like you said, the minimum requirement is 1 time a month for an average of 3 months, and you would get 35% off. And there are guys that continually do that and are happy with that. That's fine. The next step is 2 times a month for 6 months on average. If you do that, you get 50% off. So just doing that one more post, which is simple. I mean, in any build, you could take different pictures. I mean, you're jumping from 35 to 50% off. I mean, that's nuts. Really, that's kind of easy to do.
Yes.
And then, I mean, that's, like I said, anybody that's in RC, it's very easy to do. The next step is 3 times for a month on an average for a year. If you could do that, you get 65%. And then the next step is 4 times a month for 2 years. You get 75%. So once again, there are, and by the way, there are 100% discounts, but that's a discretion of Heath. And that you have to be a kind of a pretty much a content monster with very good photos, good content. We're really starting to like the short videos. I think everybody likes those. They catch everybody's eye. There's a couple guys on the team. I mean, really, if I were to look back at the team now in the past few months, there are some guys that are nuts now. I mean, just pictures
are hungry.
I mean, wow. And if you guys do these videos, the videos are awesome. You know, they catch people's eyes. They add the music, they add the whatever it is, but we're really starting to like that. Those are the increments. And again, if you build a kit, which sometimes I just buy a kit just to build, you're going to have several different posts that you don't have to submit them all at one time. I mean, you can space them out. You're going to have a lot of content to do. So just take a bunch of pictures and hold them. I mean, it's very easy to do. It's just that we want to see somebody that has that's their own dedication. They're self-dedicated. They don't need somebody harping on them, and we're not going to do that anyway. But what I really like to do is a lot of times they'll reach out to me and say, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?" If I see a flaw somehow, we're here to help. We're definitely not here to reprimand or kick people off. We want you. So everybody on the team is like that anyway.
Because the better that your stuff looks, the better it looks for the company. So obviously, so it's a win-win for everybody. And if you're ever in a slump, ask for help. There's always content that can be created. And like, look at Shawn's background right now, man. Like, man, he can just grab one of those rigs off that shelf and he's popping off pictures like madman.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's a passion, really.
Yeah.
In order to be the gorilla, in a month, it's not hard if you love it. If you love it, 4 actually is really easy. You could do 8 in a month, super easy. Mm-hmm. I know people that will do 4 or 5 posts a day. It just depends on how much time you got and how much do you love RC and how obsessed are you about your RC car. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you need to be, but in order to get the 100%, it takes that, because you might be able to ride that wave for about a year, but let's go forward. Let's talk that 2-year run. To run a 2-year run, to post 8 posts or 4 posts a month, it takes a lot of dedication, and it takes a little bit of obsession. You got to love it. This has got to be your hobby. This is what you want to do when you're at work and you're sitting there at lunch with your buddies and and they're talking about work. And in the meantime, you're sitting there thinking about, I got this build going on my desk. And, that's where I am. When you're talking 4 decades and 7 years being a sponsored ambassador, I'm not going to say I'm a driver. I do drive a lot and I've got my podiums, but I'm a sponsored ambassador. That's what I do. It takes an obsession to last that long, to go the long term. A lot of guys will go a year and then they'll burn out. So don't burn yourself out. Have fun with it. That's really what you're all about. Don't take it too seriously when you're out on the track. Those are the things that will get you. You'll be a meteor. It'll end quickly if you behave that way. And don't go out and spend your entire check on 5, 6, 7, 8 cars all in 1 year. You're going to burn out that way too. Take your time at it. Enjoy the one car you have. Have a good time with your friends. That's what's going to go the long term.
That's
but
funny.
You got to love it. You got to love it, man. To be on the CowRC. Go ahead.
It's funny you said that with a passion, and you're thinking about everybody's talking about work. There's times where my wife would want me to watch a movie, and I'm not really too interested in the movie she wants, so I'll start zoning out. I mean, I'm looking at the TV, and she'll say, "You're thinking about little cars, aren't you?" She calls them little cars. She goes, "You're thinking about little cars, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, I'm thinking about little cars, and I want to play. Yeah,
that's funny.
See, St. Colin knows. Colin knows. I've talked to Colin many times. Colin's the same way. To stay in this as long as it is, you got to really love it, man. And to be on the CowRC team, we're looking for that hunger, man. We're looking for that obsession. That's really what's going to get you in there. I've gotten many people on because I want to be CowRC and all this and that. And I tell you, 6 months later, it's like, where's the post? You were all about it, man. What happened? And some people, it's all about the discount code, and that's what they want. And they get their mat and they get their cleaner, and the next thing you know, they're not really doing anything. And so that's why this is a hard team to get on. We are watching, we are, paying attention, and we want clean, good content, but that's really what's going to get you into that. You want to be 100%, it's there for you. But you're going to have to really, really work very, very hard at it. And don't make it work. Make it fun. Do it because you love it. Don't because you're like, I just want a deal. And that goes for, I'm going to say that across all your sponsors. Anybody that's sponsored with, car, chassis, tires, all of it. It's kind of all the same motivation.
Oh, very well
Yeah,
said.
it is true because, man, Shawn, that's one of the reasons why I started following you and Tyler, because you guys made it fun. And like you guys were always up to some kind of crazy shenanigans. That's when drag racing was just taking off locally. So I was like all about it, man. I'm like, these two know how to have a good time. And you guys became really good friends in a short time, and that transferred over. And then the content that he was producing, the pictures that you guys were doing, you guys would just bring it to the track, and you guys had content after content after content. You made that shit explode. And that's the same type of passion we need for CowRC.
And it's literally, none of that is force fed. So none of that is me and Tyler up all night. You know, what are we going to do tomorrow? Oh my God. You know, it's not like that. We literally, like when me and Tyler, just this Pro Line by the Fire, 4:30 in the morning, we're up, being out taking pictures. Why? Because it's because we want to do it, you know?
Right.
It's, I just love RC, you know? That's all it is. It doesn't even have to be a car. As you can tell, it's everything, boats, all of it, you know? It's therapeutic for me, you know? That's why I do it. It's therapy, you know?
I think that's for the majority of us, because, like, man, I just worked my tail off all this week. I specifically worked a Saturday, Sunday, because in Canada, they have a rule. If you work 7 days straight, the following week, you have to have 48 hours off. Well, guess what next week is? It's our big race. So it just worked out perfect for this guy. So I'll be at the big race guaranteed now. So
nice.
Yeah, so you gotta play it a little bit, but so definitely you can get to the 100%, but realistically, hitting that 50% off mark is super easy, man. Like you got 6 months, 2 times per month. You can't take 2 pictures of your car. If you can't take 2 pictures of your kit or something like that, you probably don't even like it that much.
Well, and Mike made a good point, and is when you get a kit, or even when you're doing maintenance on your car, take a lot of photos. Take them at different angles. Get a little different lighting. Position your product placement in different areas, and get kind of like a catalog of photos. Now, don't be like some of my friends that I have and blow your entire wad on the very first post and put all 80 photos on one post.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I should have talked to Mike first about that, man.
Don't do that.
Like, just the whole camera roll. I just dropped the whole thing.
You could do that.
The flavor.
That's why I say to hit the 75%, really, like, first you got to go long term. But let's talk 2 years, right? So for 2 years, all you have to do is have a library of photos. And every now and then, when you're sitting around not doing nothing, make a post off of one of the photos that you already have. Throw a little wording in there or something like that and spice it up a little bit. That's what we're looking for, you know, and the more that you do, some are going to be hits, some are going to not be hits. But if you're only doing one a month, then your odds of getting a really good, you know, a really, really good photo is, you know, you're going to be hit and miss. But if you're doing it 4 times a month, man, one of them is going to be, you know, 1 or 2 of them might even be better. And you're going to see it on the cow post, or, you know, you're going to re-see your post pushed by these guys. And that's
on the
exciting.
main
I love it. I love when I see my stuff on the main page, right? I mean, that's another thing. I mean, I love all my toys and I love looking at them. So I take a lot of pictures of them because I want to look at them.
That's a good point. You know, I'll save. I'm sorry, Tyler.
Well, I will save. Say that. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, I will save some of my photos that I've taken with my content on my phone, even after I posted them, because when I flip through, I was like, damn, that's a good photo. And then I'll just show people, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Dude, that's how I am with the boats. Because when like the Thunderboat behind me, when it's going in the turn and that rooster tail's 12 feet in the air, the boat's almost 5 feet long. And they're doing 70, 80 mile an hour on the water.
Yeah, you have to save that.
So when you hit you got to throw that in. So when it hits the turn and you get that giant rooster tail and you snap that shot and all the little wateries look all crystally, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's like the sunset shot with your crawler with the sunset in the background, you know. Or we'll go 8 scale. You got 8 scale buggy going off and you got that nice shot with the little dirt coming off the tires and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got those too, man. I love it.
Giving me goosebumps. Heck yeah.
It's all about
And
practice. I mean, it's
yeah,
it's nobody like when you're a team driver or even a fan, like nobody's going to criticize the quality of photos or how you write about it. It's just all
no.
about effort, and with the effort you learn. You have people like like all of us here, Mike specifically, who will help coach you and help you learn how to take better photos and learn how to write a little bit better and cleaner. And you watch all the other team guys, the guys that have been on the team for 7 years, 10 years, and they know how to do it. Just kind of watch what they do and follow, what we're posting on our factory team page. And it's just a nice way to learn. And I think Shawn said that is, you take that education and you apply it to your other sponsors. And when you get other sponsors, I mean, you're going to be a rock star if you go and apply for another sponsor. If you're on CowRC for a year and you learn and absorb it, and then you go apply for a tire sponsor or whatever, they're going to be blown away by you.
100%, man. It all started for me for CowRC. And if you've been following me, I've been through my fair share of sponsors. Now, I've gotten rid of some, but I've also hung on to my true favorites. My childhood since the early days, like Tekin and Proline. Like, these are things that I've been using since I was a wee little kid. So to have them now on my arsenal, you get a little giddy about it, Am I a pro driver? No, I'm not a pro driver, but I have my fair share, I've got a wall. And so it's just, but I love it so much. The other thing is on the whole, being sponsored driver and all that is, it's really exciting to be one, but do it because you've been using that brand for a while,
Right.
I always say, use the brand for a little bit before you go chase that sponsor, because you might find something better. Sometimes tires aren't the greatest thing to jump onto, you might cut yourself short. In the drag world, it's so competitive. Like, I don't know if I would want a tire sponsor. So it's just be careful with your stuff like that. Make sure it's really coming from the heart, and it'll all happen. It'll all happen, and it won't be work. You won't look at it as like, oh man, I got to do a post for Cal. It won't look at it that way. I like doing the what's on the bench, and it's like I know all you guys got an RC car sitting on the bench doing something. I mean, look at my background. It's not, look at these guys got their stuff all nice and neat. I'm not looking for super pristine, overly like organized layout in an unrealistic form. Like, that's awesome for the advertisement shot, but I also want to see like what's on your bench. How are you doing on your working? What you working on? And maybe there might be a little grease and dirt on the mat, and some tools scattered around, and a couple screws in your slot holders and things like that. But it's okay, man. It's okay. It doesn't always have to be a photo shoot, Don't look at it that way either,
Some of the best pictures were when you actually called out the team and we were scrolling through everybody's stuff on the bench, because that's the real deal. That's when the product's at its prime.
Yeah,
that's when people are wrenching.
That's when
I
you're
love that.
it,
Oh man,
Yeah, for sure.
And
I love it.
obviously, we're super fortunate. All of us are on the factory team page, but the posts that have been on the fan page have even leveled up big time. I think Mike has a lot to do with that, because for those of you guys there's a lot of new people joining us right now. So don't forget to hashtag Cow Tech for your chance to win tonight. But for those that are joining us, our factory team recruiter is Mike. So just in case you weren't sure, he's the guy that's going to kind of reach out. And if you have something cool on the fan page and you're consistently doing it, you might get a little message from this guy here. And we're all fortunate enough to have, oh man, we got these content influencers on the factory page. And like Chris Olson, man, my God, these guys' tips are just like, it's so simple. He's like, dude, clean the lens on your freaking camera. I'm like, all right, it's something so simple. And
dude,
Travis,
that is
he's been killing it.
With these new cameras with all the big lenses on the front of them, it's so easy to, like, you'll have the phone in your hand and you just putting a big giant handprint across the
Smudge.
screen. I have to do that all the time. Be sure to wipe the screen. That's a good one. That's a good
Oh
one.
yeah, and everybody kind of contributes to that. And then of course we got Size Matters doing the content Friday. So like we basically
hitter.
have 3 days, right? 3 days while we're giving all of the people on the factory team amazing tips to make it easier for you to get content that's going to level you up in the pecking order. So
Yeah.
if you take those tips and utilize them, shit, not even for CowRC, but all your other sponsors as well, you're gonna be a stud.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Oh,
CowRC
yeah.
is
The
a good
influencers
stepping
are-
stone to get started and sponsored and content creating and all of that fun stuff. It's a awesome stepping stone. It has been for me, and you know, I enjoy every minute that I've ever been here, and it's been, I want to say 6 or 7 years now. And
nice.
It's just, you know, it's been a heck of a ride. It's super fun, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's
and
the cool thing is it is fun. I mean, like
Yeah.
you said, like, you know, the contests that we do internally and that just promotes the creativity. Like we'll do, you know, we'll do different theme contests and we get prizes for that and swag and all that type of stuff. And there'll just be like an impromptu contest. And we even, you know, do contests to like promote each other. Like say, okay, who's your favorite influencer?
Who's your favorite influencer?
guy? You know, and,
Yeah.
and let the team decide. You're, you know, not only are you, you know, kind of promoting the company, but you're promoting yourself, you know, within. So you're showing your worth and it's pretty humbling to get you know, a post and says your name multiple times of, hey, I'm respected by multiple team members. That's a sweet feeling.
Yeah.
It does make you feel good. And let's face it, man, when I'm at work, I know Mike was saying, you know, his friends are talking about this and that and the other stuff, and he's thinking about little cars, or his wife was saying that. And I'm like the same way. I'm flipping through like all the CowRC factory pages, and I'm looking up all the stuff. And when I see cool pictures, it just makes me kind of forget that I'm actually at work for a few minutes, and then it's like, okay, back to the grind. But it's just something that I like to do to pass the time, just a smidgen while you're there, right?
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, who's guilty? How many times you look at Facebook during your 8-hour work hour? How many times?
My boss is on
How
here.
many times? How many times?
Yeah.
I probably once every half hour.
Yeah, right. I'm about the same. You know.
Yeah, I think we might be all a little guilty, but I also think that like we truly are all passionate. Like I can tell from your voice. Like I know Tyler, I've talked to him a million times. Mike, we've already had on the show, and like you guys love what you do, and it shows. Like, and that's the thing. If we're not gonna like ride you to post stuff. That's one thing that I love about CowRC. It's gonna be on your own merit. You want to step up? Guess what? The opportunity's there. You got to pull the trigger though. We're gonna show you all this shit, and it's up to you to make sure you capitalize on it. So I love that deal. And like honestly, Heath is one of the nicest guys to deal with. If you have something going on in your family and you reach out, he'll put you on pause. He'll give you a little break. He knows life gets in the way. And if you're honest and upfront with them and just don't ghost them, I feel that you can work stuff out.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've had some really good conversations with Heath over the years, and he's become, for me, a true friend as well as my boss in RC. But if you just reach out to him and just tell him, you know, hey man, I just, you know, even if you just ain't got it in you for a little while, just I need a timeout. You know, no real reason. I just need a timeout for a minute. You know, whatever the reason. Maybe you don't, you know, maybe it's too personal and you don't want to say something. You don't have to. You just say, I need a timeout, and he'll give it to you, man. You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, the attitude's from the top down. It's, you know, it's, we speak this way because that's how we're taught. You know, that's how Heath is. That's how the company is. And that's how we act amongst each other. We encourage each other, and because we're encouraged ourselves.
Yep. And if you're looking for ideas, just start scrolling, man. Go to the fan page, go, you know, and just thumb through there. Like
endless.
there's endless ideas of what people have done, and it's okay to redo it again. Everybody has a different angle of an approach to use udder butter. So
yeah, different
just
fans
because you
too,
just
different
because
everything, man.
just because you've already seen someone do a diff post about udder butter doesn't mean we don't want to see your diff post about udder butter.
Yeah.
So just remember that, just because you might see something a lot doesn't mean we don't want to see your post. We do want to see your post. We will use your post. So
Right.
that's, there's lots of days in a year.
Well, that's the cool thing about, the dynamics of our team is like, you're not on this team because you're the best driver, the best builder, or even the best photographer. You're on this team because you try, you use the products and become knowledgeable about the products. I mean, look at the four of us. We've got two racers. I'm a crawler, Shawn's a boater. We just between the four of us, we got three different genres of RC. And obviously all different skill levels and such. And that's the cool thing about it, is like what Shawn was saying, building a diff on a monster truck is different than a 10 scale buggy versus a boat prop. I mean, it's just all kinds of different stuff. And even guys are doing excavators, and that's really cool for me to see, because I think that's really cool. And it's just neat to see other people use the products for RC genres that, you might not even be into. And it's kind of like, oh, I kind of want to be into that now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'll comment on that. That's why I really enjoy the interviews to get the potential drivers on track, because it's kind of one-on-one. There's a lot of times with the product uses that they're not even familiar with, even thought of using. And that's not only just to create content to be on the team. That's just to help you out in general, because, I mean, the products are amazing. I mean, they really are. It's just, and when you know more uses for them, the better are for your RC arsenal on your maintenance program. And again, then it does add to being a content creator. So it's easier to talk back and forth and answer questions through the interview, and that's why, and that's a little different than probably most of the RC sponsors out there. There's probably very minimal interaction with phone conversations for interviews. Right. It's usually just a application, and they take you or they're not. Not saying that's a good thing or bad thing. It's just it's different. So I kind of enjoy that interaction with the potential. And sometimes after that conversation, maybe I won't hear from him again. Maybe I'll see him sporadic on the fan page. But lately, they just were monsters on the fan page,
it's been awesome,
and you, Adam, you already mentioned what you put into it is what you get out of it. And in reality, it's a passion and it's easy to do. I mean, if deep in your mind, you just want to be sponsored and get the percentage off, but you're still posting. I mean, I'm not going to read into it and say he just wants the percentage off, but if you're doing it, you're doing it. But it's so easy to do if you're passionate, and you whatever you put in, you get out of it. And again, the interview process, and then after you talk to me, then you talk to Heath. Then he gives the final say, and then grants you your sponsorship. But once again, sometimes interviews will last an hour, depending on how many questions you have. Sometimes potential will reach out to me again to ask another question. Maybe they forgot or they need something new. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, well, when I was doing it there for a while, of course I like talking anyway, but I enjoyed interviewing and hearing the stories from people, how long they were in RC, what got them into RC. That's why I do that on my podcast. I truly like to hear everybody's story. I'd get sucked into that one on the interviews when I was doing them. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and honestly, being able to do the driver intros, I get to pick their brain about, okay, like, what was your first RC? Where tracks did you go to? What did you do here? Right, oh, you're into crawling. Okay, where's it? And like, I learned so much. And now I got a list of places I want to go now because of these people on the team.
Very good idea.
Yeah. And like, some of them I'm lucky enough to be able to go and race with, like, just because I'm like across the pond from Michigan. So I get lucky once in a while. And it's so cool to meet up with other people on the team in person. And it's just a blessing to see that camaraderie, and like you already know you got something in common. One, you got CowRC. Two, you got RC. And who doesn't want to talk about RCs? You know, so like I'm just down to like we're typing back and forth, and it's like it's good. And to learn new stuff is definitely a cool feeling for sure.
I was reading that someone said something about the dirt bike. There's tons of things you can use CowRC products to use on the dirt bike.
That's good.
Yeah, because weren't you jumping it at the by the fire like a madman?
Standing it like a madman at Proline by the fire over and over. I sent it till a 6500 battery pack was deader than a doornail, and nothing broke. Nothing broke.
That's amazing.
That is pretty impressive.
But you know, the for me, we'll just go on it real quick and I'll get off of it. Jumping it, keep it in wheelie mode. That's all I'll say. Keep it in wheelie mode and it'll be all right.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. Good time.
So
Sand it. I did.
Going back to racing, like obviously me and Mike, majority of the time race. I know he just picked up a few bashers. But the cool thing is about CowRC, you don't need to do a race report.
Right.
Race report isn't of as much value to like if you're gonna win like a freaking Nitro Blast or a freaking I don't even know, like a Psycho Nitro or like an AMS or like one of these big events. Heck yeah, we love to hear from that because that's some cool ass shit. But for just club racing and stuff like that, we're more interested in the media content. So we want to see the products. We want to see clear, well-lit photos because like the lighting's important and you'll see that. We want to know why you're using the products because like a lot of people just take for granted that everybody knows stuff. And the funny thing is me and Tyler have learned stuff from doing this show. We were supposed to be the 100%. Ones helping other people out and they helped us out. So it's awesome to be a part of stuff like that. And basically, you want to make sure that your photos are content value worthy of promotion. Because if your stuff gets used for the main pages and for media content outlets, that's where you're going to get the recognition you deserve. And I'm telling you, the way that the team has been stepping it up right now, you can't help but be impressed. And I know that there's the next group of guys that are chomping at the bits, probably watching this show right now, waiting for Mike to message them. It's going to be done via the Cow fan page, the CowRC fan page.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, you start hitting that page up, look for your ideas and start posting like you want to get on the team. That's how you're going to get noticed. And if your content sticks out above the others on the fan page, guess what? You're probably going to get a message. You're probably going to get like a little, a little nudge and you'll get in the conversation. But if you just do a one and done type deal, it's up to you to kind of get it going.
I'll piggyback on that, Adam. So some people, I know there's some that post on the fan page that I think that aren't really interested or just want to post that aren't interested in being sponsored, or either they were or they just don't have time. If you're posting and you're interested, don't hesitate to message me via Facebook and let me know that you're interested. And then I'm going to obviously check up on you, or I've already been following you and see. So now if you've been posting and your content is great, and this is before our interview, you're already showing that you're into it. So you already a step above. You kind of got a step ahead. So then after the interview, then we can kind of hone in onto what to do, how many times, and everything else, and how to better your content. So don't hesitate to don't think if I'm not messaging you that we don't want you. If you're interested, you message me, and then I'll put you through the paces.
That's great.
Are you down with letting them tag? Because that's
honestly,
if you're hungry and you really want it, what do? You bang on the door, right? That's what you do. Right. How you bang on the door? You go to the fan page, you post, and you tag Heath and Mike both on your post.
Good
You
point.
keep doing that, that's a tap on the shoulder. Hey man, I'm over here. You see me? You see me over here? You keep doing that. Yeah, like Mike just said, you do one and done, not gonna happen.
Right.
But you keep tapping on that shoulder, keep banging on that door, someone's gonna hit you up. You know, but it's gotta be consistent, man. You gotta show your hunger.
Right, and that's a good point, Shawn. I went over this in episode 7. There isn't a set time. You know, like after our interview, if you're waiting a week to get that other message from me saying, hey, message Heath via Facebook for your final interview, there isn't really a set time, and it's not going to be calculated. It's the content, it's the quality, it's the quantity. That's how you get it done. It's not like, okay, I did one post in 2 weeks, I'm going to do another post in 2 weeks. He said this, I'm a robot, I want to be a robot, I want to do this. We don't want robots. We want your own. Well, we want your own style. And that's the whole point of having so many different people on the team. Bashers, racers, crawlers, drag guys, all that stuff. And then however you want to post. I could probably look at 4 different types of posts and have a pretty good educated guess who they are on the team, because that's their style. And we want that.
Yeah.
If everything was the same, then we wouldn't need this many people on the team. We want different things. They're all good at the same time.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's good to have your own flavor. It's good to have your own style. That definitely goes a long way. You don't have to, but when you have a little bit of personality, a little bit of style, a little bit of like your own deal going on, that stands out big time. That does stand out. You know, so
absolutely. So obviously, if you are going to get invited to be on the team, I don't have this list. I think Tyler has it, but there is required product. So he even makes it easier for you to get that content that will get you to the next level. So obviously, being part of the team, you're going to need, I think it's like 5 items now.
Yeah, I can go through it real quick.
I got more than 5 items, so I know I got everything covered. But
so you know, part of being, before you become a team driver, you have to use the products. You know, so that's how you get, you know, kind of introduced to this. Is you show how you can take content. You kind of educate yourself on how you use these products on your own RCs. And so our kind of our minimum requirements are, you know, a large 19 by 24 magnetics of your choice, or 24-inch by 30-inch carbon series, Moo-Slick dry silicone lubricant and protectant, and the ultra thin oil with PTFE, Moo-Kleen cleaner degreaser, part and chassis wash, and the tire cleaner. Obviously, the tire cleaner, that's going to be a 2024 requirement. Udder butter and hide wipes. So, you know, those products are kind of our core products. And we want you to use those, understand them, and everything else above that is optional. So, you know, use our Cow Tech code, you know, Cow-Tech for 10% off. So if you're really serious about getting on the team and you really want to impress us, you know, start using that code, get yourself a 10% discount, and buy those key products. Start making content, and by no means like getting on the team, you don't have to purchase those products. That is a requirement once you are on the team. But if you purchase some of those products, you kind of get yourself started, right? So you can get yourself 10% off some of those products, make some content, you know, show Mike what you can do. You get on the team, then you can, you know, use your discount to get some more products and meet that minimum required. So it's not like you have to, you know, everything at once. Don't be too overwhelmed. It's definitely a, you know, ease you in and help educate you type of process. So it's a really well-oiled machine. I have a lot of sponsors, and you know, the factory team page, by no comparison, has so many posts. I mean, there is so many posts per day by team drivers. You know, we have under 60 drivers, and you'd think we'd have 600, because it is just boom, boom, boom. It is nonstop, and it's fantastic. And it's based on competition amongst each other. Is somebody makes a cool post, like, oh, I can do that. That's a great idea. Let me make a cool post. And it's really just, it's driven by competition, and it's very healthy process.
Yeah, man.
I got something I'll add to that, because like, who doesn't like building new kits? Like, I know Mike's got those ones that he's ready to rip into, and
the best part.
I got all the new kits on. Like, they landed in the States. yesterday. I had to work today, so I was like all discouraged. So I'm like, how can I pull off two things at once? I need to like clone myself. And so I'm gonna try and sneak over first thing in the morning before work because I'm unfortunately switching to afternoon shift. But I gotta I gotta get me those new kits and obviously give them all the CowRC love I can, and then just take advantage of all my awesome mats and the best thing I love is like I'm able to like get kind of a few bags in, and wherever I leave it, like you got the organization there with the carbon mat in front of you, but like I even love the little screw catcher. So I'll have little different projects, and I'll actually take a screw catcher and put it on the shelf with that specific kit, and I'll know when I go back, it's right there, ready to rock. So there's so many cool little things that you can do because you don't have to like obviously, if you want to be a factory team driver, you're going to need to get those once you're on the team. But start off small, enjoy the products, and it'll be easier of a transition once you do get to the CowRC factory team.
Oh,
Because if you don't enjoy the product, it's not for you. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure you got a little love, and you got to be a little RC nutty, I think, to kind of have that passion.
Yes,
well, Adam,
do.
it's 9:05.
Oh man, I wasn't even watching.
We need to wrap this puppy up and give away a couple prizes. And
all right,
who won?
All right, so we are going to do this live. We've never done this before, so let me bring this on.
Hold on.
We're gonna do it we're going to do it like this. Okay, so we have 20 entries. This is the first time we're going to do it, so let's see how this works. So while this is going, we'll let Shawn pick the best comment, or how are we going to do that? The comment one.
Sure.
The comment one? Sure. While you're doing that, let me dig through all these real quick. Let me start up at the top of the list here. There's a lot of them, boy. Holy cow.
Good luck, everybody.
These guys went crazy.
Organized at Chaos Trucker. So
cool. Congratulations.
Does anybody know who that is?
I don't remember seeing anything, but hey, I'm happy that that's definitely a new watcher, I believe, a new viewer.
Definitely new.
Thank you so much for watching. Congratulations. First attempt and you win.
Nice. Congratulations.
That is crazy.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. I like having names better, but just message Tyler and we will definitely hook you up. And if you're still on, you get first pick if you're still on. If you're not on, then whoever Shawn picks, if he's on or she, will get the first pick because it's either the shock stand or the brand new tire wash.
Ooh, man, the tire wash.
I know, dude. I'm jonesing, man. That should be here by Tuesday.
I know. I think I saw he sending me some of that, and dude, this is a product. I tell you what, this has been long overdue, my guys. Because we've all been using the cow wash, right? Parts of chassis wash, and it works great, right? But it's got that little bit of film on there that kind of. I don't want that on my tires, right? That's for the bodies and for the plastic. I don't want them on my rubber. So now we got something perfectly dialed for your tires. That's exciting. Super exciting. All right, I do like this one question. It's I don't know, just because it would be really cool, right? And he talks of a cleaner caddy, like an all-line carrier for the cleaners. I thought that was an awesome question. We don't have it, but I like that question. Now, is that what we want? We want questions?
Yeah, man. Like that.
Then there you go, because I think that's a great question. We don't have it. But you know what? I think we should have it. So Heath, if you're listening, let's get to work on that because I think that would be really rad. A carrier for all your cleaners. And that was by Dino Labonte. I hope I didn't butcher that. But that's Dino Labonte.
Labonte?
That sounds great. Yeah, it was a great question.
I'm sorry.
I bet you Dino's still on. So if Dino, if you are still on, definitely pick.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Either the shock holder, or the tire wash. If you pick
Dino wins a lot of
man,
stuff.
Dino needs to play the lottery. Oh, there he is.
Yes, I am. Right on.
So
Yeah,
we'll
I
let
think
Dino pick because he's still on. So
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, man, because here's the deal. I use the big roller protect bag, right? And every drawer has got something in it. Now, I do have one drawer designated, assigned for all my CowRC goodies. But it's getting too full, man. Now that we got all these new oils and all this new stuff, all this stuff doesn't fit in there no more. So now I've been using a Proline bag, the tire bag, right? And I load up all my CowRC stuff inside the Proline tire bag. But man, I would sure love to have a CowRC bag for my CowRC products.
Maybe onto something here.
Well,
Well, thank you, Dino, for the awesome suggestion. And Dino says he wants the tire wash. So, Dino, I'll message you and get your mailing address.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to make some clarification. Those core products that Tyler mentioned, those products have to be used and purchased before you become a team driver. So that's the point. So they're all familiar with using them. So those core, obviously you don't have to do it all at one time, but eventually you have to have used them and have them.
Good point.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Nice.
Mike.
Absolutely, guys. I mean, would you want to be a sponsored driver of a car you never drove?
no.
Okay, there you go.
Heck yeah. Well, man, hey, I gotta thank you guys for being on board, man. It was a great show. I can't believe an hour blew by like that.
Too easy. Talk RC, I'll bend to ear, man. I'm just barely getting started. You guys are lucky.
Yeah, man.
Cut me
Go
short.
all night for this stuff, man. But Mike, man, information was on point, awesome, and everybody, man, please, if you feel like you got the stuff and got what it takes to be on the team, hit up that fan page, man. I'm telling you, fan page is on fire right now. A lot of people are taking some big swings, and I guarantee the content is just going to get better and better each day. So with that being said, man, we're going to cut everybody loose, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks to all you guys, the viewers, because without you guys, we wouldn't even have the show. So, man, thanks to Heath for the 2 great giveaways. And don't forget to use our code CowTech, save you 10% off. And you know what? We'll have another episode coming up in 2 short weeks.
Right on.
Right.
Thank you, guys. Good to see everybody.
Awesome.
And
Thanks for
get
joining
it on the bench. Let's see it.
Let's see it. Okay, bye, guys.
See you, fellas.